So here's something most people don't think to ask. Does my parent actually have to sell their home and move? And I'm going to tell you right now, the answer is not always yes. I know you're on a real estate channel and the realtor is telling you maybe don't sell, but I'd rather give you the honest picture than just tell you whatever makes me a commission. Sometimes the right answer is to stay right where they are and make a few smart changes. If you're new here, my name is Meredith Davis. I'm with the Wildflower Properties Group, brokered by KSP, right here in Houston, Texas. Before I was a realtor, I spent almost 15 years remodeling and flipping homes. I know what a renovation can and can't do for a house. So when I sit down with the family to understand their needs, I can look at a home and say, okay, here's what I think it would take to make this work for a long-term solution. And sometimes it's less than you think. There's actually a whole category of home modifications called aging in place renovations, and they are specifically designed to help older adults stay in their current homes safely and comfortably. So, what are the most common ones? I would say walk in showers with grab bars, getting rid of that tub that they can't climb in and out of anymore because it's a safety hazard, maybe wider doorways if anyone's using a walker or a wheelchair. First floor primary suites because stairs can be a real issue. Better lighting can also be helpful, and ramps. Ramp access from the outside can be a game changer. Um, I live in a home that was built in 1897, and I broke my foot and my ankle last year, and those 5 steps to get up into my pier and beam home were a huge pain in the butt. So imagine how a ramp could be helpful in daily life with your parent if they're using a walker or a wheelchair. Some of these things are relatively affordable. A shower renovation might run you between five and $15,000, depending on what you actually need to do, the size of the bathroom, and of course, your parents' specific taste will always fall in place. Um, Other things like adding a first floor primary suite to a two-story home can be a significant investment. So here's the question you have to ask. What would these renovations cost versus the cost of the alternatives would be? Moving into a smaller home, renting, or assisted living communities, all of those things have price tags too. The other things to consider is the emotional value of staying. For a lot of older adults, that home is where they raise their kids, where their memories live. And if a $20,000 renovation means that your mom gets to stay in her home for another 5 to 10 years comfortably and safely, then the math might make a lot of sense. One thing I like to recommend is getting an occupational therapist to do a home safety assessment before you start calling any contractors. They are trained specifically to identify fall risks and mobility challenges that a home might have. It's usually a few $100s, and I think it's worth every penny because they'll catch things that you and I might never notice. And then once you have that list, then you bring in the contractor and get some bids on what work might need to be done. So before you assume your parent has to sell, take a real look at the home. What would it take to make it work? Get that occupational therapist assessment, talk to a contractor, and compare those numbers to your alternative. Sometimes staying in the home really isn't the right answer. Maybe they do need to sell, and maybe they need to use that money that's in equity. In my next video, I'm going to talk about what that actually looks like, what they walk away with, what to do with that money, and what the options are. So I hope you stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.